seen one? Or someone you know has one? Have you heard about them? Have you seen the design? Heard about the 2-day battery life? Read about the partnerships? About a company working quietly, tirelessly towards new innovation. From the streets of Shanghai to the catwalks of Milan, something big is happening. Who are they?
Huawei.
It's time the world learns to say Huawei.
Say it with me. Huawei. One more time. Huawei.
Can we have the presentation? Yeah. The last bit was a bit cheesy, but yes. The whole story started 30 years ago in a small fishing village called Shenzhen in the south of China. 30 years back and 30 years after that, Shenzhen has grown into what we call a center of innovation of Asia. This is not just the hometown of Huawei, but great companies like Tencent, WeChat, drone company DJI are all based here. Huawei has started in this kind of a bubbling places of all startups and technology, and this is Huawei 30 years ago. It was a $3,500 startup working on making switching boards for fixed telephone lines. What's quite amazing is at that time, even at that time, which still lives today, is there was a belief to enrich people's life with communication, and we have been true to that. Thanks to that belief, today we have $75 billion US dollar company. A lot of people see us as smartphone manufacturer, but that's only 30% of the business. The bigger business is actually coming from network and connections. And this is actually laying the infrastructure, not just for devices, but also for cloud business. Today, we proudly connect 1/3 of the world, operating in 170 countries. Again, it's not a Chinese company who is doing international business. It's a global company who just has an origin in China, and that's what I would like to share with you today. We prepared 20 years, and the growth is coming only in the last 10 years, as you can see. The consumer business, 7 years ago, we didn't even have a smartphone on a Huawei name. Since then, we have grown quite dramatically thanks to you, and that made us number 3 today in a global kind of a market. Thanks. What's quite interesting is a lot of people are seeing us as a value for money brand, but actually, if you look at the premium device brands globally, we are having a higher market share than the total market share. The brand globally is, the brand awareness is increasing. Still, versus our key competition, it is still very humble, but that's not the message. The message here is that our brand awareness and our consideration is growing fast. That is the message I would like to share. In the South Pacific, we are doing better than the rest of the world. But more importantly, in the Philippines, we are doing much better than global. The brand awareness is quite high, the consideration is quite going up. I know the Philippines, such a competitive market, there are so many brands, all the global brands, all the Asian brands, it is a nightmare. And here, thanks to your support, we are doing quite well. Globally and very humbly, we are coming up with climbing that ladder of the brand awareness in many different rankings as well. And the media has looked at us and see that in the very near future, there might be a big shift of market leadership. What's quite interesting here is that a lot of people are asking, hey guys, are you guys the new Samsung? What about the other competition? Thanks for all the comments, but truly, we are not going to be following our competition. And we understand that we cannot win this game by following others. And today, very quickly, I would like to share how we're gonna be different to win in this marketplace and what makes us very different. Very quickly, we are very different. We are structured very different. We are not a public company. We are privately held. That makes us very focused. Who wants a microwave from Huawei, or who wants a washing machine from Huawei? I'm sorry, but yeah, that's not going to happen because we own our company ourselves. We can decide which area and which business we would like to focus. That means that for us, it's all about investment. Coming back to the advertising questions, rather than putting so much money behind celebrities, we are putting minimum 10% of all our net revenue back in R&D. And this is something I, as an employee, feel very proud of. In good times, it's up to 15% of all our net revenue that makes us as globally top number 9 in the R&D investment. And that's the level of, so to speak, Google, which means that we are top of the class. We do not have one leader, which means that it's a very collaborative, collective organization. Even the CEOs are rotating every 6 months, which means that we are trying not to be stagnant with our decision making and always trying to stay fresh. It's an employee-owned company, so the founder has only 1.2% of shares. The rest of them are all very employee-owned, and I think that's also making this whole organization very strong in terms of motivation and really working very closely with you guys. Open integration plan, 180,000 people, half of them are all techies and engineers. More importantly, we have quite a lot of R&D centers and joint innovation centers. This is just a quick snapshot of the locations where we do innovations. I'm not trying to brag about that we are global here. What I'm trying to say is it's all about the people. It's not that we are making different R&D centers just for the sake of it. It's because the best talents are there. And I'm pretty much sure that in the South Pacific, we will have a plan to have these investments as well. Okay, then you might ask, okay, I understand all that, it's all great, but so what do you provide? What do you believe in terms of innovation? This slide is quite strange. It was much beautiful. What I'm trying to say is it's all about consumer experience. And consumer experience is not just about the smartphone. Your smartphone, how good ever it is, you put all the technologies in it. But if it's not living on network, and if it's not living on the cloud, if it's not communicating with your data, it's useless. And I think that's where Huawei has the strength. We are not only in device making, but also we own the network, and we are in the cloud business, which comes all together, and not just for the money, it's all for the consumer experience. That's what I would like to say. Creating the ultimate experience for our consumers. That's why the innovation we are seeking is meaningful innovation. Who is fascinated about the face recognition function or the eye scanner function from some of our competitors? I understand it's a very great innovation. It's a very state-of-the-art technology. It's not that Huawei cannot make it. It's, for us, meaningful innovation is something which solves your everyday pain points, which is really helping you to be better, to be efficient. And for us, after many researches, there's only 3 things. Your smartphone needs to be fast, okay? The chipset needs to be fast. Second, guys, You're not even taking phone calls these days. You're taking more pictures and sending it to your friends. So camera quality is absolutely key. The third thing, it's all about battery life. I see some of you already looking for some power plugs because your iPhone is already out of battery. I know that. Or someone is carrying this big, bulk, ugly charging battery. Battery life, this is key to stay online all the way. We talked about chipset. Kirin 970, we put it into the Mate 10 onwards. It's artificial intelligence, not just living on cloud, but in the chipset. This is not just coming out of the blue. I have to remind you that not many companies are making and designing their own chipsets. Huawei was having done that for the last 10 years. And it's not just the hardware, it's the software. Hardware and software have to come together, right? So let's don't go in too much into techie details, but EMUI, we are at 8.0 and it's getting even better and better. Second thing, we talked about camera. A lot of people know us as partnership with Leica. And everyone understands that camera innovation came from P9. That's not true. It started with P6, P5, I don't even know, I was not even there. But innovation is not just coming out of the blue. It has to have a history. And I'm just showing you that we were seamlessly, very quietly in the back developing this innovation. And no wonder the very peaky Germans decided to work with us. Not just because we are growing very fast, because they understood we have invested so much R&D in digital imagery, and that's why we have co-founded a R&D center in Wetzlar, Germany, which is called the Max Berg Foundation. Efficient battery, I'm not talking too much about that. 2 days battery life, fast charging, this is actually key for our success. But nothing can be happening if network is not supported. A lot of people are fighting for 5G. If 5G is coming to life, life will change, right? No more Wi-Fi. Everyone will be on the network all the time, all the cars, everything. And we are really heavily investing in 5G to make it happen. Last point, really, I do not want to ruin all your games. Engineering, obsession, and quality. A lot of people saying, hey, of course your quality is good. But remember, there was this very tragic and unfortunate incident very recently from some of people, players in this industry. And now you understand why quality and safety is so important in terms of smart devices. It's not just whether you have a high standard, but also you have to train your suppliers to get that into the standard. A few awards we've got from our friends, and that is also the reassurance of our quality. We want to be, as I said, a global, iconic technology brand, and I think with all the help of your partners, we humbly, sometimes not standing up front, but always in behind, please remember that Huawei is working very quietly and seamlessly in this world. Last but not least, it's all about the consumer experience. I'm very glad we have you here, and our biggest goal is having you as our brand ambassadors and our fans, and that would be great for the brand. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, and we know and we appreciate all the hard work that you're doing. All right.